Buckingham Palace stands majestic in the glow of sunset, each ancient line of the palace seemingly steeped in history and power. In that serene stillness, everything appears as intact as it has for years, but hidden deep within those sturdy stone walls, an unexpected event is gradually unfolding, shaking the very foundations of the British royal family. For decades, the British royal family has been a symbol of steadfastness, discretion, and strict adherence to traditional principles. However, in 2025, an extraordinary story unfolded during a private meeting among senior royals. There, Princess Anne, known for her dedication, resilience, and reserve, brought the room to a tense silence when she produced a significant document, a handwritten letter from Queen Elizabeth II. This letter was not a political or diplomatic document, nor was it related to customary royal protocols. It was a personal message kept secret by the Queen in her final years, entrusted only to her closest confidants. The letter's content revolved around Kate Middleton, Catherine, Princess of Wales, the woman who has become a modern icon of the royal family, distinguished by her composure, resilience, and unwavering sense of duty. The message immediately sent shockwaves through the typically calm atmosphere of royal meetings. King Charles III, renowned for his maturity, caution, and steadfastness, could not conceal the stunned expression on his face. Behind Prince William, the heir to the throne and Kate's husband, sat motionless, his eyes betraying profound shock. Words failed them, giving way to a heavy, almost unbelievable silence. Amid the royal family's ongoing challenges in the post-Elizabeth era, from media crises to pressures to modernize, Kate has long been seen as an indispensable pillar. The emergence of this letter raised numerous questions. Did the Queen leave behind a special testament? Is there something previously undisclosed that now revealed could alter the dynamics of the entire royal family? The fact that Princess Anne, a figure renowned for her unyielding resolve and strict adherence to principle, was the one to reveal the letter, makes the story all the more intriguing. For years, she has been regarded as the royal family's silent shield, quietly shouldering significant responsibilities without ever betraying emotions or information to the outside world. Thus, her decision to disclose this letter was certainly not random, but carried a profound purpose. The image of King Charles and Prince William, the two central figures of the current royal family, standing in stunned silence at that moment, quickly became the focus of attention. The event immediately prompted the media and public to raise a barrage of questions about the letter's contents, the true significance of the message. Queen Elizabeth left behind, and most crucially, the potential impact on Kate's future and the entire royal family. At a time when public trust in the royal family continues to face challenges, the story of this mysterious letter has only heightened curiosity and scrutiny. From the cold corridors of Buckingham Palace to the front pages of major newspapers worldwide, eyes are on the royal family, awaiting every detail to be revealed. With the weight of a centuries-old legacy and the expectations of millions, this letter is far more than a mere piece of paper. It carries a message of emotion, duty, and critical choices for the future of the British royal family. This story promises to open a new turbulent chapter where every development could rewrite the already intricate and layered history of Britain's most powerful family. Catherine, Princess of Wales, has long been an indispensable symbol of the modern British royal family. In the public's eyes, Kate is not merely Prince William's partner, but the embodiment of grace, sophistication, and dedication. She has brought a fresh breeze to the royal family, harmonizing centuries-old traditions with the modern values society expects today. From significant diplomatic events to quiet charitable endeavors, Kate's image is synonymous with meticulousness, responsibility, and a compassionate heart. Kate stands out for her adeptness in every role she undertakes. With her elegant style, friendly smile, and ability to connect with all walks of life, she has forged a special bond between the royal family and the British people. But above all, what sets Kate apart is her commitment to humanitarian causes, from mental health support for children to aiding military families. Her every step leaves a lasting impression. Kate's journey has not always been a bed of roses. The year 2024 marked an unforgettable milestone in her life and career. As the world watched the royal family's every move, the news of Kate's cancer diagnosis sent shockwaves. In that moment, the woman admired for her radiant beauty and vibrant energy faced her harshest challenge, yet the battle against illness. The months that followed were a grueling series of trials with relentless chemotherapy sessions and moments of exhaustion that seemed insurmountable. Yet instead of retreating, Kate strove to maintain optimism, inspiring millions of others fighting similar battles. She appeared with shorter hair, her eyes shining with resolve and a smile still full of warmth. That courage and resilience made Kate's image even more relatable and admirable. The year 2024 was not only a trial for Kate, but also for King Charles, who faced his own cancer diagnosis. Together, the monarch and the future queen consort became symbols of the royal family's resilience amid adversity. They proved that regardless of status, everyone has moments of vulnerability, and true strength lies in how one confronts hardship. By 2025, after completing her treatment, Kate returned to royal duties stronger and more radiant than ever. She reappeared not just as the Princess of Wales, but as a woman who had endured the darkest days and emerged triumphant. Her return reaffirmed her steely spirit and offered invaluable hope and inspiration to millions worldwide. Kate's dedication is not merely a duty, but a testament to her deep commitment to the royal mission. She continued to expand her charitable initiatives, particularly in healthcare and mental health fields she now understood more profoundly after her personal experience. To the British public, Kate is no longer just a model of elegance and royal decorum. She has become an icon of resilience, humanity, and compassion. Thus, when the mysterious letter from Queen Elizabeth II is mentioned, curiosity about its message to Kate, the woman shouldering not only royal duties, but also the new hope of the royal family in this turbulent era of transition, only intensifies. The legacy Queen Elizabeth II left for Britain and the world transcends mere numbers or historical milestones. Her 70-year reign from 1952 to 2022 not only marked a glorious era of stability, but also testified to her tireless dedication, sharp intellect, and rare foresight. Over 7 decades on the throne, Elizabeth II steered the royal family through the 20th and 21st century's most turbulent moments, wars, economic crises, and internal upheavals that shook the family's foundation. Queen Elizabeth was not only a symbol of supreme authority, but also a model of composure and endurance. She kept the royal family balanced between tradition and modernity, ensuring every step aligned with core values while remaining adaptable to a rapidly changing world. Her presence, from international tours to interactions with her subjects, always exuded approachability without losing the inherent majesty of a monarch. What made Elizabeth II most remarkable was her quiet devotion to her family and successors. Few know that, behind her public image, she guided the next generation's every step, especially Prince William and Kate. Her relationship with the couple was not merely familial. It was a transfer of invaluable experience and profound advice that only a seasoned monarch could impart. Private meetings between the Queen and Kate at Windsor Castle became deeply meaningful strategic conversations. In the tranquil setting of that ancient castle, they shared not only family matters, but also discussed the immense responsibilities Kate would shoulder in the future. Elizabeth II saw in Kate a reflection of the values she cherished: composure, dedication, and the ability to adapt under immense public and royal pressure. The Queen often reminded Kate and William of the importance of preserving the royal family's repute and stability in any circumstance. These messages were never spoken publicly, but carried immense weight for those involved. She understood that a strong royal family relied not only on political authority, but also on a deep connection with the people, something Kate, with her kind heart and dedication, excelled at. Elizabeth II was also known for leaving handwritten letters, secret messages written for individual family members, often profound advice or guidance for sensitive situations. This was her way of continuing to share her wisdom and vision, even after her time. Many believe the letter Princess Anne revealed is part of this legacy, a spiritual guidebook crafted specifically for Kate as a final preparation for the long road ahead. The letter's emergence rekindled memories of a queen who never abandoned her duties even in her final days. It also reminded everyone that despite the royal family's many turbulent seasons, Elizabeth II's influence remains quiet but enduring, guiding the next generation forward. As Kate and William continue their journey, they carry not only the burden of the crown, but also the spiritual legacy. Queen Elizabeth left behind a legacy woven from loyalty, resilience, and timeless wisdom. Amid the royal family, where each member bears heavy responsibilities, Princess Anne has always stood as a figure of quiet dedication. For years, Anne has been dubbed the hardest working royal, not for glamorous public moments, but for the thousands of events and duties she undertakes with silent perseverance. Whether in remote British countryside or on international tours, Anne is ever present with an unshakable sense of duty. Loyal to royal obligations and strictly adherent to tradition, Anne embodies the spirit the royal family prides itself on preserving. What earns her the most respect is her near impenetrable discretion. Throughout her decades-long royal career, Anne has never disclosed private information or been embroiled in controversy, a rarity in a family constantly scrutinized by the media. The relationship between Anne and Queen Elizabeth II was famously close. As the Queen's only daughter, Anne was not just a family member, but a confidant and steadfast companion. Mother and daughter shared countless private moments, deep conversations about life duty, and the challenges the royal family faced through decades of upheaval. This bond made the Queen trust Anne, implicitly entrusting her with safeguarding her most significant messages. When the secret letter was mentioned, the one carrying Elizabeth II's final words for Kate and the royal family's future, no one but Anne was chosen to preserve and reveal it at the right moment. With her characteristic composure and absolute discipline, Anne understood that the letter was not just paper. It was part of the Queen's spiritual legacy, and her duty was to protect its value to the end. When Anne appeared at the secret 25 royal meeting and presented the letter before King Charles and Prince William, it was a moment that epitomized the trust the Queen placed in her daughter. She needed no lengthy explanations or sought attention. Anne simply fulfilled the duty she had quietly borne for years. In early 2025, Buckingham Palace became the focal point of a significant commemoration, VE Day, the victory in Europe. Across Britain, from small streets to grand squares, people celebrated with flags and music honoring the heroic generation that sacrificed for freedom. For the royal family, this day was not only a national milestone, but a profound reminder of the Windsor family's role in the nation's history. After a long day of formal ceremonies and public addresses, Buckingham Palace returned to its usual quiet as night fell. King Charles, Prince William, and Kate gathered in a private room of the palace, setting aside the fatigue of the day. They had no inkling that the night would bring a moment that would change everything. Princess Anne, with her familiar calm demeanor, entered the room. Her eyes were serious but not tense, exuding the decisiveness she was known for. After brief pleasantries, Anne unexpectedly requested a private meeting, a rare request even within royal circles. The gravity in her voice and gaze silenced the room, signaling that something extraordinary was approaching. As the heavy door closed, the atmosphere grew solemn. Anne sat down, clutching a cream-colored envelope, yellowed with age, sealed meticulously with a red wax stamp bearing the royal crest. She placed the letter on the table with reverence, her eyes locking onto King Charles and William, as if to underscore the moment's importance. "This is what Mother entrusted to me." Anne began, her voice low and steady. "A message she wanted for you, and especially for Catherine." The room fell utterly silent. King Charles furrowed his brow, a flicker of doubt in his eyes, while William gripped Kate's hand, sensing her tense heartbeat. Kate, always strong and composed, now showed a trace of confusion and emotion, staring at the letter on the table, as if it carried the weight of centuries. Anne carefully opened the envelope, revealing a sheet of paper with Queen Elizabeth II's familiar handwriting, elegant yet resolute, evoking the image of a woman who led Britain through countless storms. It was more than words. It was the breath, the passion of a monarch who devoted her life to serving the nation and preserving the royal family's stability. Anne paused briefly, her gaze sweeping the room, lingering on Kate, the letter's primary subject. "Mother wrote this with all her heart and faith," Anne said, her voice softening with emotion. "She wanted you to know that everything you are doing and will do is immensely significant, not only for the family, but for this nation." As Anne began reading the first lines, her voice rang clear, yet laden with feeling, each word etching itself into the minds of those present. Every sentence, every phrase carried the Queen's love and expectations, making the air heavy, yet sacred. King Charles clasped his hands tightly, his eyes welling up, while William bowed his head silently, shedding tears. Kate sat motionless, a silent tear rolling down her cheek, fully absorbing every message her grandmother-in-law had left. That night, in the very place that had witnessed countless historic moments of the royal family, a new chapter quietly began. The letter was not just a reminder of duty, but an invisible thread linking past, present, and future under Queen Elizabeth II's spiritual guidance, a figure forever indelible in the hearts of every Windsor generation. Princess Anne's voice resonated in the room's stillness, each word sinking deep into the listeners' minds. The letter, with Queen Elizabeth II's distinctive handwriting, was no ordinary message. It carried the essence of a monarch who lived fully for duty, and family now leaving her final words for the next generation. Kate will not merely be a queen in name. Anne read, her voice trembling slightly but clear. She will become the soul of the modern royal family, a bridge between age-old tradition and a future changing by the day. Each word in the letter made the room hold its breath. King Charles glanced at Kate while William gently squeezed his wife's hand, feeling the surge of emotion in her heart. This was not just recognition, it was a prophecy, a grand expectation from the grandmother they loved and revered. The Queen continued to praise Kate not only for her grace and royal demeanor, but above all for her resilience shown through years of trials. Kate possesses a rare strength. She not only stands firm against storms, but uses her compassionate heart to inspire those around her. That is what makes her exceptional. And the royal family in the years ahead will need such a heart more than ever. These words not only moved Kate deeply, but also deepened Charles and William's appreciation of her role, especially when the letter addressed the challenges the royal family had faced and continues to face, from media pressure, harsh public scrutiny, to internal upheavals that always test every member. Charles and William Ann continued reading. I urge you to remember Kate is not just a wife, a mother, or a royal. She is a spiritual foundation, a source of strength for all. I trust that with your unwavering support, Kate will fully embrace her role and lead the royal family into a new robust chapter. Charles's face grew pensive, his eyes distant, as if conversing with his mother's memory. In that moment, William nodded faintly, his eyes gleaming with pride, yet unable to hide deep gratitude. To him, Kate was not only his partner, but through the Queen's very words, a living symbol of hope and renewal. Anne's voice softened as she read the final passage, plunging the room into a sacred hush. I write these lines knowing my time is short. But I rest easy, for I know the royal family's future lies in the hands of those strong and kind enough. Kate is someone I wholly trust, and I pray you will always shield her, protecting her from the inevitable storms, especially the cruelty of the media. When Anne stopped, the room remained silent. The letter ended, but its echoes lingered in the air. The Queen's final words were not just a message, but a blessing affirming that Kate had been entrusted with a pivotal role not only in the Windsor family, but in the nation's heart. Kate quickly wiped a tear, looking up at Charles and William, her gaze steadier than ever. She understood that from this moment her responsibilities had grown immensely, but in that same moment she felt an invisible strength from the Queen, a guidance that, though gone, lived on through every word. After Anne finished, the room fell into a prolonged silence. The letter, though just a few fragile pages, carried immeasurable weight. King Charles sat motionless in his chair, staring into the void ahead, as if seeking his mother's shadow, whom he respected and loved his entire life. The soft golden light from the table lamp illuminated his face, revealing eyes brimming with tears. The letter's contents deeply moved Charles. From a young age, he had lived under the towering legacy of Queen Elizabeth II, a mother and monarch admired worldwide. Throughout her reign, Elizabeth II rarely showed personal emotions publicly, but the letter's words revealed her complete trust and hope in Kate, the daughter-in-law she had quietly observed and assessed with a monarch's keen eye. Charles felt pride knowing his mother saw in Kate a special quality, strength, resilience, and influence beyond what the world imagined. But alongside that emotion was a quiet worry. As king, he knew better than anyone the challenges Kate would face. The greater the responsibility, the fiercer the pressure, especially when media and public never spare any royal. A hint of concern crossed Charles's eyes. He knew protecting Kate would now be a vital part of his mission. William was different. Always close to Kate, he had witnessed every moment of her struggles, from her early days entering the royal family under media scrutiny to the painful years battling cancer, never yielding. Yet hearing the Queen's affirmation of Kate's unique role left him stunned. Pride and choked emotion welled within him. To William, Kate was not just his wife or the mother of his children, but an indispensable partner on this challenging journey. The letter felt like a sacred endorsement from the previous generation, strengthening his resolve no matter the future, he would stand by her, ensuring she never faced the storms alone. Neither Charles nor William could speak in that moment, not only because the letter's contents were so unexpected and moving, but because they understood it was more than a personal message. It was a powerful reminder from the Queen, a spiritual transfer of responsibility, that they were not just royal leaders, but guardians of core values now vividly embodied by Kate. Anne, silently observing the expressions of the two most important men in the Windsor family, gave a slight nod. She knew the message had been delivered at the right moment, and now it was for Charles and William to embrace and act upon. In that moment, 3 generations of the royal family past, present, and future seemed to converge in a sacred instant. The letter not only fulfilled Queen Elizabeth II's wishes, but opened a new chapter for Kate, the woman whom both Charles and William now clearly recognize as not just a family member, but the new heart, the new soul of the modern British royal family. The Queen's letter, though brief, carried profound significance not only for Kate, but for the entire royal family and the public. For Kate, it was a precious affirmation, a deep mark proving that her efforts and sacrifices over the years had been recognized at the highest level. Since joining the royal family, Kate had strived to fulfill her role impeccably, but her 2024 cancer battle truly transformed her into an icon of resilience and compassion. The letter not only reinforced Kate's position as the future queen, but emphasized that she was the soul of the modern royal family, a bridge between enduring tradition and a shaping future. After overcoming illness and returning to royal duties, Kate fully realized the vision the Queen had seen in her. Her charitable projects focusing on mental health, child welfare, and cancer awareness campaigns reflected her sincerity and dedication. A clear example is the moving 2024 video where Kate first shared her personal story of battling cancer. More than a call to the medical community and patients, the video spread a powerful message of empathy and courage, proof of the Queen's foresight in the letter. For King Charles, the letter was a poignant reminder from the mother he always revered. As monarch, he understood the daily media and political pressures his family faced. The letter made him realize his role was not only to maintain the kingdom's stability, but to be a steadfast protector of his family, especially Kate, who now bore not just symbolic duties, but the emotions and expectations of millions. William, long deeply bonded with Kate, saw the letter solidify his role in supporting his wife. As Prince of Wales and heir to the throne, he knew the royal family's future couldn't rest on one person. He would need to stand by Kate, building a modern, approachable, yet strong royal image, preparing for his eventual reign. The letter was a sacred reminder that family unity was their greatest strength against any storm. The letter's impact extended beyond the royal family. As the story spread, the public showed intense interest. Kate's image, likened to Queen of Hearts Diana, grew even more prominent. Social media overflowed with admiration, encouragement, and pride. On X, formerly Twitter, posts with hashtags #Kate the Heart Queen and #Royal Letter exploded within hours. People discussed not just the letter's contents, but the royal family's future. In Japan, where interest in the British royal family is strong, the story quickly trended. Articles and TV shows analyzed the message's significance, linking it to women's roles in royal families worldwide, amplifying its global resonance. Most importantly, the letter was not just a royal internal matter. It became a broader call to the public: continue supporting Kate not just as a royal, but as a symbol of resilience, compassion, and hope. Queen Elizabeth II's legacy beyond her 70-year reign lives on through Kate, the woman she entrusted with her heart and faith for the future. So, dear viewers, what do you think of the profound message the Queen left behind? Is Kate truly the future of the royal family? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to check out more videos on our channel to explore other fascinating stories about the royal family and their untold secrets.